Hey guys, Jackson Landris, your local Bendite broker. Here, it's a little after, it's quite a bit after 10 o'clock. But I got a really important video that I wanted to share with you guys. And so, even though it's late, I had a busy day, wanted to make sure I recorded it. We received the Beacon report 2 days ago. A little bit late, but it's really important, so I wanted to make sure I got it out to you guys regardless. The Beacon report is a very well-respected company, as well as a report that comes out once a month discussing the Central Oregon housing market and the different trends that we're seeing. So we'll walk through Bend. I'm not going to go through Redmond and the other markets just for time's sake. If those are the markets you're in, give me a call. I'd love to sit down and chat. But overall, what we're seeing in Bend, we're also seeing in the periphery markets, very similar trends. We'll discuss those right now. So a lot of you guys heard median sale price in Bend hit an all-time high. So when we're talking all-time high here, we're not talking about just incremental increases. It was a substantial high, big spike above everything else. So let's talk about last summer and then we'll chat about this summer, and we'll do that for all the next graphs as well. So last summer we were averaging in the 400s. We peaked around 475 in August, so plus or minus 445 to 475. And then in the winter it dropped down to 430, and then in this summer we were at 468, 445 in May, 464 in June, and then in July we hit the big one of 529. That is substantially higher than everything else we're seeing. A lot of people trying to buy a house here in Bend and come enjoy the amazing lifestyle that we all enjoy. So that's the big number that everyone's shouting about. It's hard to say exactly what's going to happen with that. I definitely know that in the 3s and 4s and 5s, the market is very competitive. That might just be an anomaly, but I guess the next few months are going to tell us if we stay up there or if it's going to drop back down. I personally haven't seen houses climb in the, I think that's $70,000. I'm not seeing a $300,000 house sell for $370 now. Usually $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 over asking. So that's the big news going on. Next thing is the number of sales. Last summer we were averaging 225 to 250. 252 is the high for last summer. And then in June we are at 224. We did see a drop during the spring just because of COVID and everything going on. But then we spiked in July at 318. And again, you can see that 318 is quite a bit higher than everything else. It is rising with the trend, but man, it's quite a bit higher. So 252 was a high last summer, we're at 318. Just for reference sake, the high of 2018 was 261. So dropped a little bit, and then yeah, we did spike. So the next really important one is days on market. And this is kind of the one that's most important for what's happening right now in the market and how it relates to you guys. So usually in the summertime we see days on market drop down, just a lot more activity, a lot more buyers out there swiping houses off the market. So we dropped down into the 60s. Last summer it dropped all the way down to 53 was the average. Usually comes back up in the winter, just less activity. But then what happened this year is in April, the average days on market dropped to 9, then it rose up to 16 in May, 21 in June, and 25 in July. So what does that mean? So that means that houses aren't staying on the market very long. They're flying really quickly, a lot of people trying to buy, and just not that many houses on the market to be purchased. And so how does that relate to you guys? If you're looking to sell your house, now is the time, especially in the 3s, 4s, and 5s. I have clients lined up ready to purchase. So give me a call if you want to buy or if you want to sell. And then another thing with that is Bend typically has 2 markets. So anything below 700,000 is always a seller's market historically, and anything above 700,000 is more of a buyer's market. People in that price range just have more time, more money obviously to choose what they want to do, and they're also not pressured. Whereas in the 3s, 4s, and 5s, usually people are moving for a job, their kids are starting school, and so they need to buy a house very quickly. And so there's just a lot more competition down there. And so with that median days, that's accounting for the entire market from a single dollar house, which we don't have, up to the $5 million houses. And so it's accounting all that, and it is way low. And so in those 3s and 4s, we're seeing houses come on the market and then about 2 to 3 days later come back off, just go pending immediately. I am having to work really hard for my buyers in that price range, but it's gonna all pay off. So let's talk about median sale price per square feet. Nothing too crazy here. It did climb up, but it wasn't substantial. Building permits, I'm not an expert on that. That's more of an economic graph, but it's looking about the same. Last summer we were averaging building permits in the 40, and we're in the 40s as well. So I won't go into that in depth because it's a little bit outside of my area of expertise, but for me, that's a pretty good sign, nothing too crazy. And then another really important graph for us is the monthly inventory trend. So in the summer, we're usually around 3 months of inventory, and then in the winter it drops to about 2. Just again, fewer listings, not as many people trying to sell in the winter because we have a little bit less demand. But what's really interesting is we were at 2 months of inventory going into the summer. And then in June, we hit 1.4 months, and then in July, 1 month of inventory. Again, just showing how few houses are on the market. So I have quite a few more pages here. Well, that's another Bend one. But here's Redmond. I have Sisters, Lapine, Culver, all those other markets. I won't go into them in this video, but if those are the markets you're in, give me a call. I'd be happy to chat through that with you. Send over this PDF with all the graphs, or discuss Bend as well. Happy to do any of that. So yeah, if you guys are looking to buy or sell a house, give me a call. If you're looking to sell, now is the time. A lot of people trying to buy houses, and so we can get that house sold really quickly. Another thing, if you're concerned about buying the next house after we've sold your house, don't worry. I've got a lot of strategies to help you secure that next house that have been very effective these last couple of months in this really competitive market. I can't share them on this video because then the other agents would know and I'd lose my competitive edge, but I'd be happy to discuss those with you and make you feel more confident about selling your house and securing that next house. If you do have any questions about anything that I shared, feel free to reach out, or if there's anything else I can help with. I'm always here to help. Like I said, born and raised in Bend. And so I'm here to help the community and see us all move forward. So if there's anything I can help with, give me a call. My phone number is 541-749-8756. Again, Jackson Landris, your local Bendite broker, and we'll talk soon. Have a great day. Bye.